Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. So on Facebook, I've been seeing a lot of ads from Danny Morel promoting his event in New York City, and I see he has these around the country. Awaken your highest self. And this had me really confused. Highest self. That suggests that there's two of us. Maybe the higher self and lower self. But when in truth, there's this self. You can't awaken to that which you are. And I'm really not a big fan of the terms highest or higher because has you looking outside yourself. And I heard Eckhart Tolle talking about this as well, that he doesn't like the terms highest or higher. For that very reason, it has you looking outside yourself when we have all the resources within us, that we are soul, spirit, consciousness, connected to all that is. In truth, there is only self. And it's the mind, all these stories that create separation, division, this head trash that creates the illusion that we're something else, that we're this identity, this personality, this body, this mind. And the mind keeps going onto that. When in truth, we're just consciousness going in and out of different bodies. And you can see my past life videos for that, where we are consciousness going in different bodies. And when I'm speaking about that, there's really no spiritual evolution, like from one body to the next. You're here to have all these experiences because we just add to the collective. And what else does Danny say here? I wrote down some things there. This one was really puzzling to me too. Harness and control your mind, because your mind has the ability to think the thoughts you want it to think. My mind can't think thoughts I want to think. I don't know who can control their mind to think only those helpful and useful thoughts. Most of our time, our mind's in the past, dwelling in the past, thinking about what is, what's the future guessing, or the past dwelling. It's usually not here in this moment. So the mind's all over the place, and I don't focus on trying to control the mind. I just try to focus people on just being here in this moment and hearing your own wisdom on ways to move forward. And what else does he have here? Well, this I agree with. You have the ability to manifest whatever you want in life because you are life itself. You can have anything if you get the mental interference out of the way. All these stories that you can't have it, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving, you don't have the skills, you're not the right sex, you're not the right age. The mind has 1,001 things for why you can't live your ideal life, but you are life itself. And you are the director and the author of your life. Usually people are hijacking your power, but within you is that infinite power and strength within you. And the mind, and he says, the mind has the ability to see clear, or the mind has the power to see clearly. I don't know, the mind usually isn't so clear on the vision. The mind, you really have to develop that skill of imagination of how you want to see life. But usually the mind doesn't have a clear view of life. It's very distracted. Do I go this way? Do I go that way? What about this? What about that? The mind's always trying to figure things out. And it's not about figuring things out. It's about letting go of the mind and just being here in this moment and letting go of these stories of separation like highest self, lower self, whatever it may be, to realize there's only self. And the illusion is these mental stories, these runaway thoughts. And we really can't get thoughts to think the way we want them to think. In time, the thoughts do calm down. You get a little more clear and concise in your thinking, but there's still stray thoughts that aren't very supportive when you get to this deeper space. So I thought it was kind of interesting, this ad. And it's a little bit, oh, one more thing about that ad too that really got my attention, which I thought was really kind of odd editing. Because when you're in this place of spirit, of soul, of consciousness, the feeling is of peace, of calm, maybe bliss, joy. It's the state of enlightenment. And when he was saying that when you come into your heart, you feel bliss. But the way they cut it, they had all these people cheering. No, when you're in a state of bliss and joy, you're not really like cheering. Yes, you're smiling, you're happy, but it's more like a humble confidence. It's not like a rah, rah, rah confidence. It's like a self-assured confidence that all is well, all is in perfect order. And it's only that way when you dive into the self that we get so caught up in this earth experience that we forget who we are. We get caught into the drama of the day, the daily stories, the news, the protests, the wars, the violence, the crimes. And that happens when you minds run away, and it's running away from most people. I did see in his program he does offer meditation days, and that's really where the gold is meditation or mindfulness, getting into that place of who we really are. But won't be attending his seminar. To me, doesn't make sense, the cost, because I really won't get much from it. If anything, it would probably cause more things. Well, that's duality, that's duality, that's duality. Duality is basically separation. Us, them, highest, lower. It's all separation when it's just about being self. And it's not really very exciting, you know. It's not rah rah. It's just like, yes, I'm self. All is well. I'm happy. I'm smiling. I'm thriving because I'm listening to myself. I'm not listening to these external stories that saying you can't do this, you can't do that. That we have all the resources within us that's pointing the way forward. We get sidetracked when we listen to other people, that they know what's best for us. We can do this for you. We can get these results. But it all basically comes back to you being the director and the author of your life, taking responsibility for self, taking responsibility for your life, because you are life. That we have a tendency to give our power away. The doctor can fix me. They can give me money. They can do this. They can do that. What about your own self-worth? And tapping into who you are. That's really when you thrive. And your outside world is just your tools, your aids, your helpers. And we don't need long meditation practices or long mindfulness practices. Remember who you are. I began with 5 minutes a day of learning to be present. Mind thinking. Well, first I discovered mind thinking. Then be like, stop thinking. Then I was like, oh, that's a thought chasing a thought. I'm not my thoughts. If I'm not my thoughts, who am I? I'm self. And what Eckhart Tolle, for him it was, I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself. Who's the I can't live with? The mental version of self. So we got to be aware of this mind craziness. But there's teachers for everyone out there. And I suspect Danny is meeting those individuals where they are and bringing them back into this place of centered, of oneness. I'll need to research him some more and see if he's really, you know, like a profound spiritual teacher, or is he sort of like a hybrid? What I'm feeling is sort of like a hybrid. You know, a spiritual teacher and a motivator, like a Tony Robbins, an encourager. That you can do this, that you're not your mind, you're not your stories, that there's only one of you. The mind has all this energy. I think I saw another video from Danny, because I start to look a little bit. He talks about, you know, the masculine energy is one that creates all these challenges and blocks. Then he talks about the feminine being the heart that creates blocks. There's only one place where the blocks are coming from. That's the head trash. All this noise, all this interference that doesn't serve us. That's always second guessing, always doubting, always thinking we can do better than we can do. And all we can do is what we can do right here, right now. Being here, then using the power of imagination to see life as we wish to see it, letting go of figuring out how that's going to become true, letting that all go, setting the intention, then being open to receive, that you're deserving, that you're worthy of this. All right, well, I'm coming up on that 10-minute mark soon. I usually try to keep my talks around 10 minutes. I think this is enough. Mind gets overwhelmed at some point when you stop focusing, you stop losing the context. But just remember, there is no higher self. You are the self. The mind has you in this place of division, of separation, that it's not supporting you. That's where I help people, is getting rid of this head trash. When you get rid of the head trash, you heal. Physical healing, healing relationships, healing finances, whatever it may be. You get rid of the head trash to heal whatever ails you in life. Because the mind is all that mental interference that isn't serving you. All right. Well, take good care of yourself. I'll talk to you tomorrow.